All right, Steph, I'm watching you. Go eat some baby food.
All right, baby. Well, actually, a lot of this is not baby food, but this is food that a lot of parents should be getting their little ones to eat because eating healthy is just so important. And there are just certain superfoods that, you know, you can use to help keep your kids healthy, smart, and motivated. Joining us now is Dana White. She is a nutritionist, culinary expert. Dana, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
All right, so first of all, what is a superfood? It sounds like a superhero.
Right. Well, so I actually like that a lot. Superfood gets confused a lot. A lot of people think, you know, superfoods have to be expensive, hard to find. That's not my definition of superfood. My definition is something that is loaded with nutrition, but it's beautiful, it's affordable, and it's easy to find.
Okay.
Okay, so these look like foods we have every day, right? But they're loaded with nutrition and loaded with the nutrients that growing bodies need. So things like lots of different produce. So there's 50 superfoods in my book. More than half of them are produce. But the whole trick is, how do we get our kids to want to eat these things?
I know, especially vegetables, that is so tough. Fruit is a little bit easier.
Right, but then so my idea is kind of using and making things in exciting ways. So what can I put into a muffin? What can I put into a pasta sauce? All kids love pasta. How do I make it more nutritious? That's kind of the whole concept for the book. And then how do we have recipes that the entire family can enjoy?
And all these foods, obviously good for adults too, but why particularly for kids are these more important?
Things like, so kids, there's a lot of nutrients that kids don't get enough of. It's very similar to some of the nutrients adults don't get enough of. Fiber, so whole grain bread, brown rice, things like that. Okay, but how do we incorporate these into fun recipes? Calcium and vitamin D, really big nutrients that we worry about for everyone, especially little kids, growing bones, things like that. So eggs have vitamin D. We get dairy from milk and yogurt and things like that. But put it in a smoothie, put it into something, put them into muffins, and do things like that to make it a little bit more fun.
I know, I've even seen people make chicken fingers out of like sweet potatoes on the outside. So there are ways, there are just ways that you can just kind of, you know, be creative.
Right, and I don't like to sneak because I think that then kids don't even realize that they like it. Well, if it tastes good, like in the book there's a carrot marinara sauce. And that was really just because I think it tasted really good together. So they happen to be getting a kind of a pasta sauce that has pureed carrots in it, but it's really about the flavor profile, and it makes this beautiful colored sauce and things like that. So it's not about sneaking, it's about maybe introducing something in a different way.
All right, so sneaking is a big no-no. I feel like a lot of parents would try to do that.
Some parents believe in it, and look, you know, whatever works for your family, I think you should go with. But I think it's also pointing out to your children that there's actually something in there, because otherwise they don't know that they like it.
That's true. That's a good point. So do you say we're trying this today? I mean, how do you approach it with the kids?
We try to be, I mean, I have two little girls. They're almost 4 and almost 6. So, you know, they like to be independent, you know? So sometimes I let them choose. Okay, so do you want to do this or do you want to do this? Things like that. That gives them a little bit of independence in the kitchen. They want to help, they want to make choices, and that makes them more willing to try things. It doesn't always go perfectly. I have some failures. But, you know, some of the tips I try to, you know, lead by example. Parents need to do a little bit more of that. Offer foods in combination. So if you're providing something that you know maybe one of your kids doesn't like, do it along with something that they do like, and then maybe it'll kind of go over a little bit better. Talk about where foods come from. This whole idea of, you know, planting a garden, getting out to the farmer's market. We're finally getting to that point in the year here in Connecticut, thankfully.
Goodness.
You know, so I think when kids have that say, when they can go there and pick something out, you know, we go strawberry picking, for example, you know, and then we go home and make jam and fruit leather and things like that. Ooh. So, I mean, kids get excited about things like that. So
Can I get adopted in your house?
Absolutely.
I want jam and fruit leather. That all sounds really good.
We have fun. We try to make food fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so, obviously, more tips in the book.
Yep.
Cool. And anything, number one thing parents should do? Number one.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't make the same thing every single night. Keep trying. Introduce foods over and over again, because you find that kids really, they just come around.
Right. And then it's less work for you, because having a lot of picky eaters in the house can be a lot of work for
but
parents.
Fighting over food never works.
Oh,
never
my
works.
Goodness. All right. Well, thank you so much, Dana. Some great advice, some great tips. If you need more information on her book or more about Dana White here, you can just head to our website, WTNH.com, and check it on the Good Morning Connecticut Weekend section.